Welcome back to Julia's kitchen. Today I'm going to be making some cannelloni, which is pasta stuffed with some minced meat. That's veal, one package. Then you'll need some onion that's finely chopped, like that. You're going to need 1 clove of garlic that you're going to put in your garlic press. And you'll need some curly kale. And you'll also need a jar of tomato sauce and some mozzarella cheese that is already cubed up like this. So the cannelloni shells I'm using are ready-made to go in the oven. You don't need to boil them or anything. You just pop them in the oven once they're filled. Let's move over to the kale. I'll show you how to prepare it. So you're going to want to wash your leaves very well. And then just going to want to remove the stem because it's going to be tough. And we don't want that. So you just make an incision like that and then it comes off, and just take out any remaining leaves. Now you could save this for a soup, like to put it in a soup. So just continue with the rest and I'll show you the next step. Now that our kale is prepared, we're going to use a knife like this, a 1/2 moon mezzaluna knife, and we're going to finely chop our kale. So we're reaching a finely chopped that I like a bite-sized piece. Now for the ragu, I have 1/2 carrot that I'm just going to slice up very small. And this will be for the meat part. I'm going to use my mezzaluna knife again to just chop everything very small. So you really want to fine chop on your carrots. So make sure it's really small. And if your cutting board is sliding around, just stick a cloth underneath it so it doesn't slip and slide. So we're going to crush our garlic here with the garlic press, like this. And we want all of the vegetables that we're going to put in here to be finely chopped so that they'll fit inside our cannelloni. The next step is to get out a heavy bottom skillet, and you're going to want to open the flame to about medium-low heat. I'm going to add a teaspoon of olive oil, just enough to get our onions going with the garlic. And more oil will be released from the minced meat, so that's why I'm not putting too much. So just move your pan around like this. Once the pan is hot enough, you can add your garlic in and your onions. Give it a stir once they're translucent. We'll pop a lid on this just so that it'll steam up the onions a bit and cook a little fast. I'm just going to add another teaspoon or so of olive oil, and I'm going to give this a stir. The next thing we'll do is just raise the heat a little bit more to a medium-low heat. We're going to add a good sprinkle of salt. I'd say 1/4 teaspoon. And we're going to add our kale now to the mixture. Give it a good stir. We want this to wilt down so it'll be easier to stuff into our shells, but this will also be mixed with the minced meat once it's cooked. To To help this along, I'm just going to add a splash of white wine. This is completely optional. If you want, you could just put a tablespoon of water. We're going to just pop the lid on it for a good 3 minutes until it's further wilted. After about 3 minutes, I opened it, the lid, and I feel like it needs a bit more liquid just to steam. So I'm just going to put 1/4 of a cup of water. And at this point, I'm also going to sprinkle on some black pepper. Just a little bit. I'll stir this all together. I'm going to put the lid back on for another 3 to 5 minutes. So after about 5 minutes, this is what the kale looks like. And I'm going to take it off the heat, and we're going to put this aside because we're going to cook our ragu next. So in the same pot that we cooked our kale, we're going to cook our carrot. Put it on low heat, and I just add another tablespoon of olive oil to the pan. So let this just cook up. I'm gonna pop the lid on it. Okay, so our carrots are cooking up. They don't have to be cooked all the way through, because what I'm going to do now is add my sauce to this. Just lower it so it doesn't splash all over you. Lower the heat. Now we'll add it in. Now I'm just going to raise the heat, and next we'll add in our meat. So I've added in our meat, and we're just going to break it apart. My sauce has been cooking for about half an hour, and the meat looks like this now. I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. So just mix that all together. Break up any chunks of meat. So our sauce is done. Now what we want to do is you want to take a bowl and a ladle with holes through it. And you're going to want to scoop out the meat, because we're going to need the sauce after to pour on top of the cannelloni so that they cook. So just like that. So now what I'm doing is just using my spatula here and just breaking up the pieces of meat, because some didn't break, because you want it to be fine like this. So just break it all up. We're gonna let this mixture cool for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll add in our kale with the onions and garlic. To this, I'm just gonna add a bit of nutmeg, like just the tiniest amount. Then just stir it all in. Alright, now that our mixture is cool, we're gonna add in our kale. You want to add in your pieces of cheese that are thinly cubed, very small. You can use mozzarella or a different kind of cheese, whichever you like. Now this one has a lot of salt in it, so I put less salt in the mixture to compensate. So just give it a good mix. So it looks like that. The next thing you want to do is take a large baking pan and add in some of your tomato sauce because we're going to lay our cannellonis here, and you need a bit of liquid on the bottom. The next thing we're going to do is fill up our cannelloni shells. So you're going to want to take a small little spoon for tea or coffee. Hold one end with your finger at the bottom so the filling doesn't come out. Then just pour this in like that. So it will look like this. Now just place it in your pan. Alright, so all the cannellonis have been filled, as you can see. Now the last thing to do is to pour over your sauce. I had to make another jar of sauce because it wasn't enough liquid to cover it. Want each one to be covered, and for the cannellonis, make sure you left like a good inch between each one because they're going to expand in the oven. So you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll cook these until they're done. So after about 40 to 45 minutes on 400 degrees Fahrenheit, this is what it looks like. So it's ready to enjoy.